Money gets lost all the time through scams, bad investments, or even banks dropping the ball. Today, we're breaking down the real stories of folks who trusted the wrong people, the wrong systems, or even themselves, and paid the price. Take notes because some of these lessons, they could save you from losing big. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to check out some clips of people who have lost their money in all different various ways. But before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button if you enjoy today's content. So without further ado, let's jump into the video.
I was greeted at the door by my husband with, "Hey, did you use my PayPal to spend money on TikTok Shop?" And I'm like, no, I haven't even bought anything on TikTok Shop in a while because I haven't. And he's like, well, my PayPal was used to spend $200 a bunch of times on TikTok Shop. And I'm like, yeah, babe, that wasn't me. Go into my bank account. Every single cent in my bank account is gone.
Wow, that is pretty crazy. What is a TikTok Shop? I've never heard of that before. It must be something that you could buy on TikTok or something. But this is a crazy story.
Gone. And then it's also $1,300 overdrawn because they not only took every cent they had, but they just kept taking as much as the bank would let them.
You get hacked, your money is stolen, and instead of helping you, they pile on overdraft fees. That's wild. How are you going to charge the victim for getting robbed? I swear these banks love talking about their fraud protection, but when it's time to actually protect someone, they're nowhere to be found. They'll stop you from buying a cup of coffee in another city, but let a scammer drain your bank account in real time. If this ever happens to you, call your bank immediately, freeze your card, and file a report. Set up alerts for every transaction. Use a separate debit card for online stuff. Maybe that could help. Clearly, the banks aren't going to protect you. You've got to protect yourself.
I lost $1 million, but this is what I learned. Let me tell you what happened. I consulted with a client for about 6 months, and then we invested $1 million into their company. And in the next 90 days, it all went up in smoke. They had 2 sets of books and they were doing some shady stuff. And the interesting part is, in my bones, I knew that it was too good to be true.
Then I think you probably should have went with your gut feeling, because your gut feeling never lies.
When I told my wife about what happened, she asked me one question. She said, "Sharon, what did you learn?" And I said, when it feels too good to be true, get a second opinion.
So this guy loses $1 million on an investment and he's just okay with it. He learned that he should get a second opinion. Well, okay. It must be nice to afford $1 million life lesson. Most of us can learn that just by searching on Google or something for about 5 minutes. I mean, seriously, if you need to lose that much money to figure out that you should be double checking before investing, then maybe the lesson isn't about getting a second opinion. It's about not investing at all.
A lady opened a Chase bank account. She worked for 18, 20 years, something like that, and put all of her overtime money, any extra money she got into this account. Now, she wanted this to be purely for savings, so she did not get a checkbook for this account, a debit card, nothing for that. She was just putting money in there away for retirement.
Now, I want you all to keep note that this is Chase Bank. This is a major bank, and this stuff can happen. It's pretty crazy.
She had ended up saving almost $100,000. However, when she finally did check the account, because remember, she wanted to put money in this account and forget about it, she noticed that for almost a year, somebody had been withdrawing money from the account almost daily to the tune of close to $87,000. So she did file fraud claims with Chase. However, all of her claims have been denied because she did not file them within 30 days.
How does this even happen? You trust a major bank for nearly 2 decades, and they can't catch that. And to make it worse, when she finds out about it, she tells her bank, and the bank can't do anything about it because she didn't report it within 30 days. That's wild. Most people just trust their bank, and this should be a wake-up call. Always check your statements, set up alerts, and don't assume your money's safe. Just because it's in a big-name bank, that doesn't mean anything. What you want to probably do also is split your funds, use digital alerts, and monitor your account because the banks don't care like you do. Their policies protect them, not you.
Took 3 cash advances and I maxed out a credit card. Lost all the money that I had in my bank account. So going from having a small win in the morning to being down what would have turned into 6 months of debt, working 80 hours a week. And these aren't ice cream jobs anymore. This is, I was working as a financial analyst, ironically. And then,
Wow. So he's a financial analyst and he lost his money. Let me know what you all think down in the comment section below about this story.
ironically, and a bartender, but I had to work like 80 hours a week to pay that off over the next 6 months.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Wow. What was the total that day?
That day, 16.
16,000?
Yeah.
That hurts if you're not a rich man to lose $16,000.
All of it, yeah.
You know, my heart really does go out to this guy. Gambling is a serious problem. And for those of you that do not know, I live out here in Las Vegas and we are the gaming capital of the world. I see people all the time chained to slot machines when I walk through a casino and trying to get to a cafe. I even know a few people myself that have had serious problems with this. You think someone who analyzes money for a living would know better, but I guess not. It's funny how people can predict the stock market, but they can't predict their own bad decisions. That's the thing with addiction. Logic goes out the window. 16,000 gone, all for a quick rush. Maybe the lesson here is that knowing about money doesn't mean you know how to manage it. I really do hope that this guy got the help that he needed.
Hey guys, I want to tell you this quick story about how I lost my entire life savings to a scammer. So I went to Alibaba and so I found this graphing calculator for about $10 a unit, and in America they were selling it for over $100. So he sent me an invoice for $2,500 and he said, yeah, you just have to wire this money over to me and I'll package up all of these calculators and I'll send it over to you. I'm packaging your stuff, it's international, it'll take some time to get. Well, I kept on writing to him and I told him, I said, hey man, my wife's pregnant with my second child. She's going to be due any day now. I can't afford to lose this. Then he, decides to respond after a good 3 weeks. And he said, hey man, look, you're from America. You guys are going to be just fine. I'm from Singapore and I'm living in poverty. So, whatever it is, I'm just going to do what I need to do here.
Wait, hold up. This guy wires $2,500 to some seller on Alibaba and he never gets his order. And then the seller just straight up says, you're from America, you'll be fine. I'm from Singapore and we're pretty poor out here. So I'll do whatever I need to do. Man, are you kidding me? That is insane. First of all, that's just fraud, plain and simple. And second, the audacity of thinking it's okay to scam somebody just because they're from another country. It's unbelievable. This is exactly why you can't just wire money to any random seller online. Always check reviews. Use secure payment methods, MasterCard, Visa, Discover. Never send money directly. If it sounds too sketchy, it probably is. Protect yourself because some people just don't care about your money. They only care about taking it. And anybody from America needs to pay special attention to this.
You're waking up this morning and your accounts are probably down. You're probably thinking, what the fuck? Just the other day, the market started to recover. Bitcoin went to its all-time high and now it's down $5,000 in what, 24 hours? So welcome to the world of crypto investing.
Yeah, crypto, it's pretty tough. You got to be really careful when you're dealing with crypto because it has some pretty volatile swings.
If you're new here, let me tell you what's going on. This is big money. They're shaking the new money out. So you got in, especially those that got in at a high. What they do is they trigger a market sell by selling billions of dollars of Bitcoin and Ethereum. When Bitcoin and Ethereum drops, everything else drops.
Bitcoin and crypto, they're not for everyone. If you don't know what you're doing, you can really lose your ass. I'm not a trader, I'm a holder. I have tried trading a few times, and honestly, I really suck at it. I think I'd rather make my money doing other things and then invest into crypto. But what I do is I just buy it and I hold it. And when I'm ready, I just cash out. That's the key for me. It's having patience. If you don't have the stomach for the huge price swings, just stay out of it. Because crypto, it's like a roller coaster. It's exciting, unpredictable, and sometimes very brutal. I see people all the time lose everything, especially after those big Bitcoin drops. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket. You want to diversify your portfolio so that you can minimize your risks. This game is not for the weak, and it's more for the ones who can ride out the chaos. At the end of the day, people lose money in all kinds of ways. Scams, bad investments, gambling, even banks dropping the ball. And the frustrating part is that so many of these losses could be avoided with just a little bit of caution. Check your accounts, ask questions, don't blindly trust anyone, and don't assume your money is safe. Just because it's in a reputable place, protect yourself, stay alert, and remember, nobody's going to fight harder for your money than you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the video here, but I do want to hear from you. Do you have any stories that you would like to share with us? And were you able to resolve it? Did you ever get ripped off? Were you able to recoup your money? Go ahead and share your thoughts down below. You know, it might actually help somebody out there that might be going through the same thing right now. But I do want to thank you all so much for watching today. Peace.